Today I came across an old Pepsi ad in which Imran Khan, as a cricket star at the time, uh, is playing cricket and he grabs a Pepsi bottle, and before he gulps it down, he wipes it on his forehead, wiping all the sweat from his forehead, and then he drinks it. I remember as childhood, in my childhood, when we used to see that ad, we always wanted to buy Pepsi and, wipe it on our foreheads, just exactly as Imran Khan would do. And then it occurred to me that back in the day, Imran Khan was the poster child, the Western corporations' poster child, their favorite media personality to promote their product, Pepsi or Coke, whatever their product at the time would be. Today, things have actually they have changed. Things have flipped. The only difference is that today it is the same guy, the same Imran Khan, who's standing up against the sale of another Western product. It's a different Western industry though, but when Imran Khan said absolutely not to having the CIA keep bases inside Pakistan to spy on Afghanistan using Hellfire drones and drone Hellfire missiles to kill people and spy on people in Afghanistan, he stood in the way of the sale of many devices, many technologically advanced devices such as armed drones, as I mentioned, and lots of other spying technology that would be up for sale if the US government would need them to spy on Afghanistan while having bases in Pakistan. So Imran Khan, in a way, this time stood in the way of that business. A lot of sales were stopped because of that. Absolutely not. So I need you to understand that this time there's a stark contrast this time. We also need to know how the Pakistani Americans living in the United States are going to vote in the coming general election, presidential election in 2024. Usually, most of the immigrant people prefer, except with the exception of Cubans and a few others maybe, but immigrants generally tend to prefer Democratic Party because of their favorable stance on immigration issues and other such things. I really believe this time the Pakistani American people, just as they have not forgotten that Pepsi ad, they're probably not going to forget what the Biden regime did, Biden administration did in Pakistan when they went for a regime change. That could be a matter of personal opinion. Many people are denying it, including leading scholars like Noam Chomsky. But the important thing is that the Pakistani American people believe it. And that's the key. So some statistics are important here to know about. Pakistani Americans make up about 500,000 people in the United States. I also want you to know that Pakistan is the fourth largest source of providing doctors and dentists in the United States. That's a serious statistic. While the numbers may not, 500,000 Pakistani Americans in the United States may not make up a very significant number to make any dent in the voting when the presidential election comes, you just never know. Remember what happened to Hillary Clinton in 2016. Some of the so-called blue wall states, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and others, they were written off as belonging to the Democratic Party until the big surprise came when Trump claimed those states. Some of the Pakistani Americans, they are most of the Pakistani Americans actually are in New York. That's a Democratic leading state. And if they decide to vote and if they decide to indulge in what is called revenge voting, it can make a difference. There is potential. The other state where most of the Pakistani Americans are Texas and California. Now, Texas is a Republican state, but for a long time they've been talking about a possible Texas flip, that it might change to the Democratic Party. And the reason for that is because Houston is a very large city, which has a lot of Pakistanis and a lot of immigrants. And they might just go and vote against the Republicans. That flip may not happen, will not probably happen because of what they believe Biden did in Pakistan. I know so many Pakistanis who are going to indulge in revenge voting against the Democratic Party. Many people, myself included, that voted for Biden in 2020 may not do the same thing again in 2024. So that could change. That may have some significant results. Texas flip may not happen. It will be a Texas lock for the Republicans. Then we come to California. Third state with the largest Pakistani American population. It's a Democratic leading state. Again, they may just decide not to vote for the Democratic Party and they may just go for the Republican Party, and there are good chances that they will. And in the long term, it may make a difference. Remember, Texas used to be a Democratic state before the Civil Rights Act in the 60s until mid 60s. And after that, it went to the Republican and it has never changed. So the potential is always there. Surprises can always come. Pakistani Americans may decide to change that reality because they, as far as I can see, they strongly believe that it was the Biden administration that changed their favorite leader. Most of the Pakistani Americans that are in the United States right now, these are the people who grew up looking up to Imran Khan as their favorite sportsman and favorite personality. Imran Khan is a legendary star. If you agree with him or don't agree with his politics, you cannot deny the fact that he was and is a big star. And these people in the United States, the Pakistani people, they grew up looking up to him. So they really like him. They're not going to forget what the Biden administration did to Imran Khan, by removing him. And they will go for a punishment. This is something I wanted to discuss, and I've written about it, and I'm going to share the link to that article somewhere in the comment section. The next video that I will be talking in would be about the criticism that is leveled against the Pakistani people in the United States when they're saying that the Pakistanis prefer a conservative regime back home in Pakistan, but when they come to the United States, they want a liberal government because it benefits them and their rights and their immigrant status. While that narrative is sometimes true, the reasons behind that are not understood correctly. And my next video would be about that. So I hope you'll watch. Thank you.